first order of the Platinum PAW Award. He is famously known as a dog whisperer of the Philippines. He is truly very generous because he uses unique skills to help the dogs at the PAWS Animal Shelter get adopted. So, let's listen to his story.
Since I started visiting the shelter about a year ago, I felt that there were a lot of things I could contribute, to the development of the dogs at the shelter and to help them become more adoptable. Now, what you want is for the dog initially to stay seated for 5 seconds.
You know, PAWS is very lucky to have Jojo Isorena. He's training our trainer volunteers to train shelter dogs. Jojo trained at Triple Crown in Austin, Texas. He brought shelter animals there up to Canine Good Citizenship certificates. That's what we are trying to do, or starting to do, with our shelter animals. We're giving them life skills, and Jojo is very dedicated in this.
Can you review I want to just see 3 sits, 3 quick sits and releases.
We do our training every Sunday for 3 to 4 hours, and Jojo has never missed a Sunday. He's very dedicated.
The program that we're working with these dogs is based on the usual obedience program that I conduct. It's exactly the same that I conduct with my client dogs. No?
Okay, sit. Good girl. Come. Mitch, sit. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Okay.
We didn't set very high goals for these dogs, but within a month we've had some dogs that have gone into a sit or into a down already. We've had some dogs that are paying attention most of the time, and we're also using clicker training.
Down.
There was one dog we were working with that was initially aggressive towards other dogs. By the 3rd session, the aggression was gone because we were working them in groups, and just being around the other dogs has already helped them. Click, good, and release. Okay.
Jojo is an excellent trainer. He's very generous with his time, and whatever questions the volunteers have for him, he answers them generously, and he is open to imparting his knowledge to the volunteers.
We started with about 9 dogs, and we actually were very successful. These were dogs with issues, and they didn't want to relate to any of us in the beginning, but we graduated them, and they ended up very well bonded, very well socialized, and they were taking commands from us. About 50% of them, about 5 of them, 5 out of the 9, have already been adopted.
When I adopted Hazel, she was already part of the training program. She was actually one of Jojo's star pupils. She knows basic commands, she's well socialized, and she's very friendly with kids, with other dogs.
We're starting with our 2nd batch of dogs. There are 12 of them. I'm very hopeful that we're going to be able to replicate or even exceed the last batch success.
Many of these dogs at the shelter are really coming from a huge disadvantage. Many of them were abused, many of them were neglected. So working against all these odds makes the results really more significant for us. It's really a joy to actually see a dog sit. Sit is the simplest thing you can teach a dog, and I never realized how much joy you can get out of seeing a dog sit until I saw a shelter dog sit. It's also been a great joy working with the volunteers. They are not doing this for any personal gain other than the pleasure of working with dogs, no? And so you see them put their hearts out every Sunday. They're here, they're patiently working with the dogs, and once you see that that's working for the dogs, it's very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling to see this happen, and I'm glad to be a part of all this.
Keep smiling, keep shining.
Mr. Jojo Isorena.
Bravo!
For good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me.
I'm very, very touched by this award. I'm very honored, and I have to say that the real reward comes from seeing these dogs transform from abused, neglected dogs into happy, confident, and brave dogs. No? They've been through a lot, and seeing them go through that transformation is more than enough that I could ask for. I'd like to share this award with all the volunteers who have devoted all their Sundays working with all these dogs. Thank you very much.